Hey, gorgeous.
Hey, my sweet friend, how are you?
I'm so good. Came back
Nice.
from the mountains this weekend. That was necessary.
Oh, how were the mountains?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yep,
We,
yep.
you must have better weather than we have because our mountains are wet and cold and just not a lot of fun to be climbing around in.
Oh, yeah. No, it was great. It was wet. Don't get me wrong, but I don't. It rained.
Oh no. Well, I actually love it when it rains. Just any kind of weathering outside, rain, snow, like thunderstorms are my favorite. I don't know why. Just even as a kid, I used to always love that stuff.
Oh no, they're fantastic for me too. I would say like the first night I went out there, I was up with the elements all night in meditation and doing all kinds of fun stuff, and it wasn't until probably like 4 in the morning and then it started raining.
Aw,
It's
that's when
fantastic.
it lulls you to sleep and you're like, ah, beautiful little rain.
Exactly.
Or it's like,
Pick the shit up, man.
exactly. Well, speaking of which, we had the Northern Lights last week. It was absolutely amazing. Did you see that?
I did not see that. Nope. Nope.
Oh no.
But I'm looking at your background now. Is that the picture you already actually took?
This was out my front door. And I was so excited because I had talked to you last week and you're like, go say a little prayer. And I said, okay. So I went outside and I had this candle going. I'm like doing my little thing. And I look up at the clouds and I'm like, God, the clouds are like really bright for it being so dark out. It was 11/11, right? It was November
Uh-huh. Of
11th. So it
course.
was that 11/11 portal and I'm doing my little thing. And the clouds were really bright. And my mom goes, "Oh my God, the northern lights are out." So now I know how it starts at night because I've never seen them before in person. It was really
That's
cool.
amazing. That's amazing.
So
Well,
I took this picture out my front door.
it's so stunning. You really can't tell if it's one of the backgrounds on the computer that you can just
I
pop.
know. Well, I have like a little tree. Maybe you can see.
Oh, look at that tree. Is
Yeah,
that your?
there's a tree. I've got others show my house. But I would love to get your perspective, like what truly is the Northern Lights? Because I know, like it's sort of this coronal sort of thing interacting with the magnetosphere, but is there more to it? Like what's kind of going on when we see, Christmas lights in the sky?
I mean, if we break that down into actual light waves, right? It's a refraction of particular particles and waves that we're able to view very so often. So if you want to break it down to that point, you want to go more spiritual
Oh,
than
I want
that?
to go deeper. Absolutely. Now that after our last conversation and I learned how you see energy, I'm like, oh my God, everything around
Oh,
us has a totally different way of perceiving it.
I'm
So
like, oh,
yeah.
you want to get into like the deeper coding of it.
Oh, we're going all in on this conversation. Yes, 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 yes. If you guys didn't see the ending of our last conversation, go check it out. It was absolutely amazing where Z decodes the Matrix. I'm like gobsmacked.
It was a good one. It was a good one. Okay, well, if I look at the actual energetics, I'm gonna go from what I'm seeing behind you, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If I'm looking at the coding of it, it looks like an interface for change.
That's what I was hoping you'd say. Yes.
Yep, yep. And by change, and usually when I'm looking at like codes or numbers in the background, I want to see if there's coding for movement, coding for change. Maybe it's a stabilizer. Okay. And how I understand that within myself is that I've been viewing this ever since I was little. So it's like understanding, okay, that means that to me and the feeling of that. And also if I have let's say other beings or things coming in to have a chat with me, they'll usually have a good sense too of like, oh, this is a grounding point for shift right here. And then I'm gonna go internal because it's only my internal that matters, right?
Right.
Truth to me, what does that look like, and how can I shift with that? Of
Mm. Because I figured there's light codes because we're talking about Three Eye Atlas and all these things. And
course.
when I did the cards, to
Yep.
me, Three Eye Atlas was about light codes, bringing just you light codes from
Yes.
Galactic Center or wherever, and bringing
Mhm.
that in and to have that interact with just sort of our grid system, the matrix, however, like, and now that you're saying it's an agent for change, to me, I'm like, that makes sense because this is the 9 year where things were supposed to kind of unravel and
Right.
kind of
Yep.
break down. And we sort of see it, but I feel like a lot of it's happening in the background. Maybe we haven't been privy to it yet. And so maybe this is
Sure.
just that explanation point or that like emphasis of, really sending in the reinforcements.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say with that, this particular vibe that I see running through there, and again, from my perspective, I've been watching these ever since I was little in a very visceral space. Um, and heading into, I'm like, oh, this whole thing is going to change. I knew that when I was little. I'm like, this whole interface is going to be changing. It's going to be changing into this year, which is now we're going to be physically manifesting this now, right? This isn't like, well, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to feel it a little bit and see what happens. No, this is like, it's going to come into my body. I want to embody this and see, how that actually interacts with my physical manifestations.
Well, I love that because what I've been learning is that it has to change within us
Yes.
first in
Hmm.
order to get the external world to change. It's a really big concept to kind of get your head around because you're like, no, no, the streets get repaired and like houses get built and it has nothing to do with me. But maybe it does, right? Like I don't know how much of the external world is totally dependent on change that I do or you do or anybody else watching this video does within themselves? Or is there like a nice balance of some of it is your own internal creation, but just some of it is just, this is the construct and this is the game board and the game board changes while you're interacting with it? Like, what is sort of that mix?
I mean, that's something that we're all still exploring for ourselves within our bodies, right? I don't have a clear defined answer even within my own system of, this is this is that. What is the reality? How do I work with this? I'm gonna be in this moment right now and viscerally experience this current space. Okay, and I'm gonna take in everything and the feelings and the vibe to me, and then I'm gonna make my choice point from there in kind of my own understanding. Because there's like constructs like a street, right? We
Right.
have we have gravity. Okay.
Right.
That's a part of the reality. So for me, I'm like, okay, what is actually the real grounded reality in humanity? Because I am a human. Okay. There are facets in there that are like, no, this is a human reality type of a piece, and I can embrace that. And then I'm interacting with the quantum field. And by quantum, I mean creation, right? Everything I think, do, act on, physically, emotionally, spiritually, if you want to bring that in, energetically, is going to interact with this field around me, and my internal choices and embodiment is gonna make sure that that field is moving itself around me. It's literally you're taking one step, say on the game board, I choose
Mhm.
this step, and that field is going to come around you and work exactly with your own parameters and your internal interface, and then create the reality that you're looking at.
Right, because it feels like it's just a big mirror. And like I
Yep.
know a lot of the times when I do work with you in private sessions, outside of these shows,
Mhm.
like a lot of it is going, hey, this is going on within me. I want to, kind of calm that down, so to
Oh yeah.
speak. And
Yeah.
it feels like that then gets reflected once that heals, once we work with, resolving
Right.
that pattern,
Totally.
that mirrored reflection that comes back to me or whoever, right? Isn't there anymore or isn't as strong, or maybe that
Right.
either the mirror is shattered or it's facing a different direction or it's dulled down a little, like
Right.
it
Right.
really does. I do see that difference right off the bat. Like when you work on things, it does change at least my interactions with people. I wouldn't say
Right.
it changed the street closure or it changed the house being built down the street, but it does change my interactions with other people.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. It does because I'm gonna say like all the atoms in your body have reconfigured themselves, right? Everything in the universe, from a very obviously we can go scientific standpoint to
Well, that too.
energetic
I
space.
mean, like I love learning about it. I can keep up with it, but I can't talk about it. Like
Sure,
I'm still
sure.
on the choose your own adventure level.
I
Okay.
know that's exactly what I mean. I'm generally on the choose your own adventure level.
Yeah, but I'd be fascinated to hear your perspective on it.
It's just atoms interact with each other and they talk to each other and they shift depending on choice, observation,
Yeah,
okay, and what they're experiencing in the field. It could be something like polarity or magnitude or something like that that starts to make them shift a little bit.
yeah.
So if we're talking about one thought form, like I like split peas or something like that.
My God. Do you? That sounds disgusting.
I mean,
Hey, look, everyone had, to each their own. Okay, so split peas. You like split peas. Okay, got it.
I like split peas, but my body's really excited about that, right? My atoms in my body are going to start to shake a little bit. I'm going to get excited about it. All of a sudden, my internal is going to equate to my external, and I'm going to want to go towards those P's, right? That's a physical walk manifestation piece.
Right, right. Yeah, because I always grew up with knowing it was about your emotions, like always feeling good about it. But I never really understood why that was so important to the game. Because the
Right,
game was actually saying where you feel good is sort of that direction of where you should be heading.
right,
And then it also helps amplify the energy around you to help either attract it faster or stronger or what have you. Like, there really is mechanics and physicality to the exercise of how you feel and moving in that direction. Choice. I
right.
love that. Choice, observation, and emotion. Like all of that combined, I think is kind of the secret to manifestation. And we've talked about how we hate
Yep,
that word,
yep,
right? Man
yep,
of
yep.
infestation, but
Totally.
um,
So
but
I
go
go
ahead.
ahead. Thanks. Um, so if we're looking at manifestation, and I just want to like ask this question for everybody, like how many times have you manifested and it hasn't come into reality?
Oh my God, all the time. And I get really frustrated and pissed off because I'm like, I am working on this and I should know better.
Totally.
Right. And then you psych yourself out because you're like, is there too much hopium going on? Am I hoping too strong?
Right.
And you start to second guess yourself.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, and me too. Like I'm moving through my body experience and also being able to experience energy in this format the way that I do. There's been plenty of times where I'm like, mm, I'm gonna do this, and plenty of times where it has. Don't get me wrong. There's been plenty of times where obviously I've like manifested and I didn't even know what manifesting was really, because it's just a word that was thrown around for me. But really, what this coding is coming in to say is, do we have the capacity within our bodies that are embodying our soul, that connection, to create that reality? And the creation part is what I go with the quantum field, right? It's creation.
Yeah. Can I tell you how I manifested or created something yesterday?
Absolutely. Let's hear this example.
Or actually, it was 2 days ago. So I was in my car driving to go pick up something at the grocery store, and so I parked the car. Well, actually, let me back it up. I'm terrible at like telling jokes. I'm the one that like tells the punchline at the end. Um, so okay, my car has been kind of acting up a little bit, and I called the service and I was like, "Hey, can you get my car?" And they said, "Gosh, we're 5 weeks out, so no can do." I'm like, oh my God, 5 weeks out, like it's kind of really acting up. So then I go to the grocery store. And my car would not turn on. Like the battery's dead, right? And so this guy has to come out, jump my car, and he's like, "Oh, luckily you're a block away from the service station. I'll follow me, and I'll
Yeah.
I'll get you in." And I'm like, "I gotta get to my son's basketball game. Like, can you please help me?" So he helps me out. And he goes, we'll get you a new battery. Oh, it looks like your battery was bought here. So that's great. We'll help you out. And oh, by the way, since you're here with the battery, we'll just fix that issue in your car. Here's a free loaner. Take it for as long as you need, and we'll get you in like tonight. This was, only hours after I had called the exact same guy who told me he was 5 weeks out to be able to fix my car. So I got
Wow.
instant, like, it looked like a trouble in the moment where my car wouldn't start at the grocery
Sure,
store,
sure.
but it was that negativity in the moment actually was a blessing in disguise. And what I manifested was him taking care of my car right away. And so I have a loaner vehicle in my driveway as we speak, as my car is getting fixed.
Here we go. Heck yeah. All right, that's exciting. How did you feel in your body with that?
Terrifying. Oh my God, it was terrifying because I had other plans for my day. I was supposed to head to
Sure.
my son's basketball game, which I missed, but thankfully we had family there and all was well. But I got there at the end for pickup, so, still get the win. But it was terrifying in the moment, and I didn't realize I was creating that, but maybe subconsciously, like and that's part of these light codes coming in, right? Like get your resistance out of the way so that way, spirit already knows what we kind of want to move in the direction of. And so consciously we may not always know, but maybe it's getting rid of that resistance so we can actually create something, which I don't know if that's where you were leading me to, because I like I didn't feel that joy or like, woo, I am stuck in the grocery
Right.
store. Hope
Yeah,
my car gets fixed right. Like that was not
exactly.
in my frame of reference.
Yes.
But I feel like in my mind, maybe leading up to that, I was like, this thing needs to get fixed one way or another. And so maybe
Right.
there was like a beyond a shadow of a doubt, I need to get this taken care of.
Man, this is perfect. This is exactly what
Oh,
I'm talking about. It's
oh,
good that
good.
we're
Okay.
the embodiment space that we're looking at because I wanted to see how your body was actually interacting with that whole piece. Terrified is something we all feel in our bodies. We have human bodies that's a natural format. We've been living with that for a long time. Okay, doesn't mean we're going to continuously live that. We'll be shifting. At least my hope in the reality is shifting into I'm going to choose something different than that, right? I'm not going to be
Yeah,
terrified
because
all the
it's
time.
you either move in the direction of it or you're resisting it, or maybe
Right, right.
conflict helps drive you into another area. Like there's benefit to conflict.
Totally, totally. So what I'm saying with that is it was a necessary part for your body to move through the terrified piece to get you
Yeah.
to that manifestation. And really that is reworking the nervous system into, oh, look, I know this needs to get done. What's going to be the fastest route? Can I surrender to what that fastest route is?
Surrender.
Yep.
Yes, I love that. Okay. Yeah, because that's a real tough one for me because I'm super controlling, and
Yeah.
it's taken me a long time to admit it, but yes. So surrender is not in my game book, like not at all. But maybe I should give myself a little bit more credit that I actually am surrendering in the moments.
I would say
Matters.
so. I would say so. Again, this is all about awareness and how your body's feeling, right? If you can go through resistance, terror, fear, and allow that to be a human expression because it is. Usually when I'm talking, I'm like to everybody, put it all on the table. This is all you and your wholeness. I want it to be there, right? We're gonna take a walk in wholeness. Now, if you want to manifest this, right? The universe is and that quantum field around you is going to be like, okay, look, this is what we want to manifest. Here is your fastest route. Now, in order to get to that fastest route, you might have to go through some challenges, a few fear stages, right? Or you can take this other route sideways, which is going to take you maybe like 5 years to get there. Okay. I mean, how many of us have done that? I definitely done that where I'm like, that's a little resist. Nope, I'm gonna go this way. And I get there 5 years later, I'm like, well, I really didn't even take that route, right? Whereas if you want that, you throw it out to the universe. You take your actionable steps, and I do say actionable steps because the body is learning how to work with this energy, the newness of it. How does it communicate with it? That means sometimes you got to walk through the terror, the challenge. Sometimes there's a loop or a pattern that is still in your way, right? I'm always going to say, walk towards that, take a deep breath, surrender to the feeling of it, and let that field recreate itself around you as soon as you hit the awareness in your body.
Yeah. Yeah. What I was very present to is how easily everything was flowing.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
it was very gentle in the process, even though I was a bit terrified, like, what am I going to do in this moment? Because
sure.
I couldn't see the next step. But
Yes.
like what I did was I just got really still and I was like, I should just call that guy from that I talked to earlier today. What's the coincidence? What's the chances that I literally, had talked to someone? And so I think it's just like also being still and just sort of waiting for that inspiration, that
Right.
impulse of like, what is my next step? And it really unfolded very easily, which I was so thankful and grateful for. And like,
Yeah.
maybe that's some of these light codes coming in to help us release that resistance because normally in that mode of like fight or flight we like tense up, and it was almost as if the opposite was true, like releasing was what allowed for the flow to come through.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. And that does still take a aspect of surrender because if you're walking in a step of like, I don't know what's going to happen next, which is generally the biggest resistance, right?
Hmm.
I know what's gonna happen next. If you can just slow down. I usually this is my biggest technique. I'm gonna slow down. I'm not gonna react to that because there's no need to do that. I know, I know whatever the case is gonna happen here is gonna happen regardless. So I'm gonna slow down until I feel calm enough in my body and nervous system to take the next step. Or I'm gonna just sit for a second and watch how the universe takes this on with me. And that generally that's the flow state, right?
Yeah.
Like it's literally working in around you. As soon as you take that internal look, breath, and I always say breath is the most important piece to alchemy. Taking a deep
Really?
breath. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's where all the magic happens.
How so?
It's the pause to flow. It's the pause to creation, I would say. It's the pause to allowing your system, your soul to take a choice step
Uh-huh.
outside of a loop that might not be working for you, to take an action step that's going to actually bring everything into your reality that you're looking for.
I
Okay.
never thought of taking a breath as an action. That's very
Mm,
cool. That's
yeah,
and it's that action of allowing surrender
totally.
because it's the pause. It's like the physical pause is taking a
Sure.
breath.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. I never thought of that.
Taking a breath. I don't need to do anything here. This is a big lesson that I've learned through all my experiences. Is like, nope, that's not a space for me to do anything. And as soon as I do that, I drop that to allow, and that's the next thing for it to come in.
Yes. Yes. I could see how that played out of that allowing that releasing resistance, taking that pause, allowing something to come in. I think that's not that I realized that that's what was happening in the moment, but looking back at it and
But
you're
you
like
did it.
retracing the steps, you're like, oh, that's where that plays in. Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah, yep, exactly. And that's, I mean, if we're talking about the game, that's really how you interact and play the game. What is it that you want? How do you want to interact with it? What are you feeling in the moment? If that's what you want, how can you surrender? And also, too, a lot of times it's just being. You don't have to do anything, right? I can just be and allow this stuff to be moving in and around me.
Well, I'll tell you the next sort of big, like once you tackle one piece of the game, there's always another step to the game or a level to the game. Like now you level up. And so the next
Yeah.
level up within the game is this whole concept of like ascension and the
Yeah.
notion of ascending in your body. Like, how does that play into all of this?
Well, I want to just bring in a feeling. And again, for every and all of you guys who are watching this, this is a perspective with her and I, and I'm always going to have you dive into your own and what you feel about that, and you know, because these ones might not work for you. It just might trigger or spark something, right?
Yeah.
But settling into the very system of shift and change, I'm going to go into what is the feeling of it? What is the feeling of what you just said?
The feeling of ascending into your body.
Yeah,
It feels very like woo.
yeah, yeah.
But
What?
it feels, but like if you're interested in this type of conversation, you're listening to other conversations as well. And it is a big topic out there right now of everyone saying, we're ascending into 5D and everyone that's why we chose this incarnation at this time because this is the
Sure.
big like grand prize of humanity of being able to
Sure.
do this that we've never as a human race have ever ascended in physicality before. And
Right.
so,
Right.
I'm kind of curious how that all plays in. And so when you say like, how do you feel? I'm like, it's exciting. It's a really cool idea. I don't quite understand what it means or what it's supposed to feel like, other than it's hard.
Okay, yeah. I'm like, please express everything on the table about what you feel about the ascension process, right?
It
And you
feels like there's a lot of work that has to be done.
yeah, it feels like you're trying to get to a higher piece that might not be achievable from my perspective. Feels like you got to do all these things in order to get the ascension pathway going. That's been my perspective of it. Or I need to go outward, or I need to continuously increase my frequency to get to a point. I'm just going to pose a question of what if you've already done that?
Oh, ooh. Well, because I always feel like Like I have to walk up that mountain in your background. And I'm like,
Yep.
and I'm still at the bottom, and I'm like, I'm looking up at the top, and maybe when you get to the top, it looks like this in the background. Like maybe we are already there. I don't know. I don't know what it's supposed to look like. Like I didn't see that flashing sign that said 3 miles to 5D, 2 miles to 5D. Congratulations, you have crossed into the state
Are we
lines
still
of
doing it?
5D.
Yeah. Yeah.
No
Yeah.
one told me that yet.
Right, right, right. I think, at least from my perspective, we can get very caught up on the wording of that and the feeling of what it's
Mhm.
supposed to look like and an outward appearance of trying to listen to all the things instead of going, what does that actually mean to me? What does it look like to me? How do I want to feel about that space? Because for me, in my experience, I'm not going anywhere to ascend. Like I'm actually really grounding and embodying where I'm at.
Yeah, because it's not like the world changes, but maybe the way we play with the game changes. Like maybe it's
Right,
more
right,
like I think I heard somewhere that it's more like instant manifestation, right? So it's maybe
right,
it's that, hearing that it's going to take 5 weeks to get your car fixed. So I'm just going to break it down so someone will fix it that day instead of waiting 5 weeks. Like maybe that's an example of being able to
right.
create instantly instead of having that time delay. It's a much shorter time delay. Like maybe that's a piece of it.
I would say so. From my experience, that's what I'm experienced. My manifestations are really fast at this point, and that is also because I'm constantly working with my body to see, do you have the capacity? Do you have the capacity to hold this right now without stress, without push, without needing to, without hustle? Do you have the ability to hold this and what's coming in? And I'll ask my body,
Yes.
can you receive this right now? Do you have that ability to receive it? And I'll be honest with you, sometimes she's like, are you kidding me? Do you know what that looks like to me? Okay, which then at that point is going to push that away, right?
Wait, repeat that. What pushes it away?
If my body is not ready
Oh,
to
right.
receive it,
Right, because we've been talking a lot about the nervous system, and here
exactly.
we're like trying to, be magnetic and draw it in, but forgetting the fact that our body has veto power. And it's like, if
Oh,
I can't
totally.
hold it, I'm going to kick it out. And like to your point, and even some of the exercises that you're having everyone do is like, can you hold it? And can you like expand it
Exactly.
2% bigger? Can you make
Yep.
it be 2% bigger and hold it?
Yep. And that holding process is what's going to take you into instant manifestation, if that's what you want to call it, right? Now my body understands it can be that fast because she's experienced it.
Yeah.
She's been able to hold it. There has been plenty of times where she hasn't, and that hasn't come in, and she's pushed it away. And when I say the body is the most important thing with the nervous system, that is what how is housing our soul frequency, right? Our resonance piece. That's how our soul is actually interacting with our body. So if
Yeah.
the body doesn't have the capacity to hold all of that, we're not going to be creating very much, are we? We're going to be stuck in those programs and loops that we don't want to be in.
Well, how do we know if we're pushing it away? And maybe it's more of on a collective basis, because maybe individually you can hold it, but then collectively we're looking at the world around us and going, we're kind of anticipating things to sort of crumble to the ground. Like I
Yes.
said, it may be happening in the background, but we're not seeing it. Well, I mean, there's some things that we're seeing, but like I'm,
Yeah.
me and the financial system, like I love to bring it back to that.
Yep.
Still waiting for that. Like, are
Sure.
we collectively maybe not ready to hold it? And so that's pushing it down, kicking the can down the street, so to speak. Or
Could be.
I don't know,
Yep.
because like to me, that's also part of this 5D is like the world around us shifts. So, systems get realigned, like
Yep.
healthcare and
Yep.
education and finance and government and all of those things. Like in my mind, when we reach like a 5D kind of experience, like yes, our world changes, but like so does the outer world too.
Right. Exactly. And I would say, where we're at is we're still moving some of that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Still moving some of that stuff as a collective. From my experience and how I interact with that, and how I go up to the mountains and work for myself, and then work with collectives just to see, where the base point is at. And at the end of the day, I have to go back to I can't focus on the collective. I need to focus on my own internal networking, right?
I love that. So really, it's still bringing it all back
Back
to
home.
to back home, back to
Yep.
self,
We're
back
going
to
back
self.
home.
So
Yep.
what are you calling into your life?
Ooh. I'm calling co-creation into my life. I really want to start co-creating with people. I don't know if I would say or call them projects, but even coming together for co-creative art and dances, things like that we've stepped out of a lot of those connection points, especially with COVID and all that stuff coming in. I want to come back in to connect with people, right? Have a equal reciprocity in my co-creation. I absolutely love the work that I do, so I'm going to continue that. And I have this, the platform that I'm working with the Game Changer, and so that's a whole ecosystem in and of itself to bring people back into self, so we can manifest and then co-create together.
So, yeah, you've talked about your platform, like the whole quantum game changer. You have a hat, like, you have an
Yeah.
incredible platform, by the way. I mean, what does it mean to be a quantum game changer?
I mean, honestly, it is seeing the world differently or in a way that you view it and owning it. Not coming from I need to heal, but I'm gonna not fix either, not need to heal. I'm gonna come in from a whole direction. And what actions then can I take? I'm gonna act on this, right? I see that things want to change within me, and I would love them to change in my reality.
Yeah,
Act on it, right? I'm not going to perform, I'm going to show up. I'm not here to spiritually bypass or think that I need to hit a particular point or level to ascend or play this game. I'm actually going
yeah,
to come into my body. I'm actually going to find all these parts and pieces of myself that I've avoided up to this point, integrate them,
yeah.
okay, and walk them so that I can actually be in any reality that I want to create.
So it's this whole conversation we've just been having.
Exactly.
And so it's really just kind of helping to guide and give steps, or even just kind of put a construct around it of like, here's what you're actually doing in your life, whether you're aware of it or not.
Yep, yep. It gives you just a platform for one to be entirely yourself. If you've had all these visions or things that you've wanted to do and you haven't been able to actually manifest them, it just allows you to come back home to yourself and take a step at a time, understand how your reality moves around you, ground yourself, embodies, and then allows you to understand how to co-create with other people.
Yeah. Well, speaking of co-creating with other people, I signed up for your class.
Yeah, woo! I'm excited.
So if you want to share a little bit about that with the folks that are watching.
Yeah, yeah. So I wouldn't, I'm gonna call it an adventure or a side quest or a quest in and of itself. Okay.
Yeah.
The way that I work my platform is that we are in a game, basically, right? A game of your choosing. You're the one with the controller. Okay. So I have an embodied wealth vault, which is what you got yourself into.
The wealth vault. Yeah. Well, as soon
The
as
wealth
I heard
vault.
you can manifest more money, I was like, I'm going to be part of that class.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is from the premise of me deeply doing my own work to embody. I wouldn't have ever put anything out there if I hadn't done it myself.
Right. No, I get that because you're up in the
Years
mountains
and
all the
years.
time and you're
Yeah, yeah.
constantly, yeah.
It is years and years of like, oh, that's not embodied. I'm not going to be doing that.
Yeah.
This allows you to interface with your physical body, with your soul, to understand the mechanics of what wealth is to you, what manifestation is to you. How do you walk your reality? How can you actually do that in your body, in your nervous system, so your body can hold the capacity to manifest that?
Yeah, because I would say wealth is actually abundance, and abundance is more than money.
Sure is.
It's everything in your world that, you're drawing in.
Yes.
And I always said it's an inside job, and that's why I love just sort of the notion of this vault concept that you've put together. And I'm excited to start it. So how can people sign up for your class?
Yeah, all the links will be down below, and I do have a pre-sale. So come on, and also to just come in and get a feel for the platform itself, because it's a living ecosystem itself. So even walking into that will start to shift the reality in the body, because it's such a frequency of, for one, acceptance in who you are, in understanding that everybody is equal to each other, which is a huge piece for me and always has been. I always want to walk alongside with you as we're doing it. So that's the feel that you'll get running through there. And it's how do I want to view wealth within myself? What does that look like? And eventually it's going to be head into a quantum playbook, which is going to be co-creative mastery. And then even further into how do we actually create relationships that we can connect deeply to on a
That's so my next thing that I need to work on. Oh, I love it.
yeah.
This
Yep.
is good stuff. This is good
Yeah.
stuff. Well, what an awesome conversation. I love
Yeah, it was
it.
great.
Thank you. Any parting words from you?
Um, honestly, the biggest thing is again, guys, I want to view you as my equal. And I love and respect you for each of your perspectives, and I want to honor that, and I want you to really empower yourself with your own perspective, so that we can all have our unique perspectives here and work together. You know,
Yeah, that's fantastic. And it took me a while to really be able to say that I'm at an equal level with you because I've always saw you as like the one that I'm learning from, but you truly do have allowed me to be at an equal level with you, and I love doing that and being able to feel like I get to contribute to you just as much as you
that's
contribute
as
to me.
much.
Like it is such an equal like playing field. So I love and appreciate that so much. And I'm excited to start your course.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to start the course, and
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
excited for more co-creations that we get to work with because I do learn just as much from you, and it is such a connection and reciprocity. So I want to thank you and for what you do
Oh,
and the tarot work that you do. So everybody, please also, if you're gonna have your link below, right? Oh, you're
yes.
gonna, yep. You probably already need it, but
Behind the scenes with Jen on YouTube.
exactly, exactly. I appreciate what you do and I honor it. So thank you so much. And everybody, we love you. Please, if you have any questions, pop them down. If there's anything you want us to deep dive into, please, we're more than willing to do that as well.
Sounds good. All right. Well, I look forward to our next conversation. Thank you so much. And thanks
Bye.
everyone for watching. Take care. Bye.
Bye.